If Doom is an accomplished mage, why can't he control time like Doctor Strange? What has happened to the astral plane? How has a creature like Dracula managed to plunge the entirety of New York into an eternal night? Hello, friends. I am the Riddler, and welcome to the final video for Marvel Rivals Season 0 Strange Times. Our story begins at 177A Bleecker Street within the hallowed halls of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Dr. Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, and his trusted ally Bats the Ghost Dog are greeted by a visitor who Strange says has traveled a long way. It turns out this visitor is none other than Victor Von Doom. Bats howls that the sanctum is meant to be intruder proof, to which Doom dismissively replies that perhaps they are in need of more powerful protection spells, or a better watchdog. Strange diffuses this by saying stronger protection would be unnecessary, seeing as magi as powerful as Doom are quite rare to come by. Doctor Strange even goes as far as to straight up claim that in the realm of the dark arts, Doom may very well be his equal, which leads him to his question for the monarch of Latveria. What could Doom possibly need from him? Doom explains his not at all wild ass plan to bend time around his hand like a smartwatch, to which Strange replies, obviously, this doesn't seem like a good idea. Doom being Doom is like, nah, it's a great plan. Actually, in this moment, we get a glimpse into why Doom even wants to do this. Reference is made to events in Doom's past that, if redone with what he knows now, would be much different. Doctor Strange can, of course, relate to this, but his teacher, the Ancient One, had shown him one of the truths of the universe. Fate is in the hands of no mortal, no matter how powerful they may be. Doom then reveals that he wants a spell written within the pages of the Darkhold. The Darkhold, or the Book of Sins as it's sometimes called, was referenced in our video about Hydra, where I theorized that its author Chthon may very well be who Hydra is trying to bring through that portal. Strange firmly declines Doom's request despite having the book. A big part of Doctor Strange's whole deal as Sorcerer Supreme is to keep relics like the Darkhold away from the hands of really anybody, including himself. Doom reveals that he intends to read the vampiric verses out of the Darkhold in order to cheat death the same way Dracula and his immortal legions did centuries ago. He posits that given time, he could use the spell to work out Time's secrets. Strange has not changed his position on any of this, to which Doom is not surprised. A magical battle takes place with the two magi slinging referential spells back and forth at each other. However, you don't fight Stephen Strange in the Sanctum Sanctorum and walk away a victor. Doom is restrained by Strange, to which the Latverian simply says, "Release me and I will depart in peace." Bats, being the only person with a functional frontal lobe in his head, says that that is a terrible idea. But the Sorcerer Supreme counters with the claim that if Doom is anything, he is a man of his word, which is indeed true. Doom saunters out of the sanctum and no less committed to his idea of manipulating and controlling time. But the Sorcerer Supreme is resolute in his stance to defend reality should Doom overstep his position. Before he departs, Doom leaves Strange with a cryptic warning. He says that the House of Truth, another name for the Sanctum Sanctorum, may be safe, but those outside its wall will soon be drowning in darkness. Doom makes his exit, and Strange immediately grabs the Darkhold and puts it in a portal that is in a portal for safekeeping. Strange returns to his studies, and a few months pass. Yes, a few months. As you may have already guessed, this all takes place before the time string entanglement even happens. So after being turned away from the Darkhold, Doom tries to So after being turned away from the Darkhold, Doom tries a different experiment to cage time itself that, as we know, fails due to another Doom doing the same thing. Stephen Strange senses Stephen Strange senses a massive disturbance across time and space, and while he doesn't have the time to figure out exactly where it's coming from, he does have a very, very strong guess. Despite having only a fraction of the second, Doctor Strange performs an arcane ritual attempting to protect his reality, but the spell does not expand outward quickly enough, and only the Sanctum Sanctorum is sent to the mirror dimension. The mirror dimension, being a part of the astral plane, has basically been sent to creative mode, and the Sanctorum is now drifting across the time stream. Luckily, the good doctor is so mystically potent that he manages to jump out for short periods of time to help where and when he can. But Stephen Strange is not the only one to try this. When she does, she can sense how fragile reality is after all this mess. But it is quite odd to her when she hears her name whispered across the void of magic. See, in this timeline, it is Wanda who's the Sorceress Supreme. Her unique connection and mastery over chaos has ironically turned her into a pillar of order. Much like Stephen Strange we just spoke of, Wanda feels the ripple across space and time, but thanks to either mastery of chaos or distance from the inciting event, Wanda was able to grab hold of the surge of temporal energy and keep it in check until a second wave hit thanks to there being two dooms. All the same, Wanda's timeline would have been one of the many to be erased were she not essentially forcing it to stay in place. Then she hears her name again, but this time she thinks she recognizes the voice. This is Stephen Strange. Not the Stephen Strange she knew. He had died in the first Demon War when hell itself spilled into Las Vegas. The Stephen Strange we spoke of earlier has been reaching out to every Sorcerer Supreme he can. The Stephen The Stephen Strange we spoke of earlier has been reaching out to every Sorcerer Supreme he can manage across the realities in order to request help for his timeline. Being stuck in the astral planes and jettisoned across the time stream has left Strange lost. He cannot get himself back, or he could, but the time it would take would give Dracula enough time to gain control of everything irreparably. Strange had finally dropped the right keywords to spring Wanda into action. Even with it being long gone from her timeline, she knew the dangers of the Darkhold. Wanda began peering into astral planes, and most of what she sees surprises her. She even sees the corpses of an old one she had recently defeated to protect her universe. Wanda refocuses and Strange catches her up on Dracula's schemes. Dracula has moved his castle to Central Park in New York and used an imperceptibly powerful spell to stop the rotation of the moon, plunging New York into endless night. Strange then introduces Wanda to Chronovium, something she was totally unaware of, much to her shock. She mumbles that she may have been too distracted in recent memory. But, I mean, who could blame her? It's gotta be pretty hard to literally hold reality together. Wanda decided she's finna get active and asks what Strange needs and also where the Darkhold is. Strange only needs help re anchoring to his home plane, and as for the Darkhold, it was in the astral dimension, but it has fallen into the hands of Khonshu, the moon god, who threatened to utilize it to fight against Dracula. The only issue with this plan is Khonshu has no plans to spare the innocent lives that have been enthralled by Dracula. Khonshu, however, has a crippling gambling addiction and an addiction to fumbling easy wins for his plans, but that's neither here nor there. So Strange has managed to challenge the god to a game of chess for the Darkhold. Wanda wishes Strange luck in his chess match and begins trying to find Strange's true body and the Sanctum Sanctorum to return them home. Though, given her penchant for chaotic magic, it might not be so simple. And that's everything for this video. And also everything you need to know for season 0. Are there details I haven't gone over? Yes, but that is because I think they're most relevant to what's happening in season 1, so I'll be making separate videos on those. I will also be making a compilation video so that you can watch all the lore videos in one. Thank you all so much for the support on these videos, and I cannot wait to tackle season 1 as well. Hopefully on a slower schedule, because I'll be doing the videos as I go along. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. And until the next time I see you all, be good people.